All right, welcome everybody. Bad news is we got a boring topic. We're going to talk about sales tax. Good news is it's going to be a very short presentation today because we have a short amount of time before lunch, and I certainly don't want to keep you from that. Again, my name is Steve Hoffman. I'm the Alliance Manager for Magento for Avalara. For those of you who don't know, Avalara is a sales tax software. We've been partners with Magento since its inception and are very happy to be here speaking to you today. We're going to be talking a little bit about the South Dakota versus Wayfair ruling. What should I do? Talk a little bit about automating sales tax compliance, and then a Q&A. Sorry, the technical people, is the notes not on here, or are they? No, this isn't the right one. Anyway, so we'll talk about this. This isn't the note version that's supposed to be on here, but for those of you who don't know what South Dakota versus Wayfair is about, it's obviously a big deal in the e-commerce space right now. And it basically just asked the Supreme Court to overturn, South Dakota asked the Supreme Court to overturn the longstanding Quill decision, saying that a state can collect remote sales tax and not just based on physical nexus. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of South Dakota on June 21st, 2018, granting South Dakota the right to impose sales tax obligations on out-of-state transactions, i.e. e-commerce. So who's affected by this? Remote sellers not currently registered with the state who meet certain threshold requirements. And in South Dakota, it's $100,000 in sales and or 200 transactions, effective date November 1st, 2018. The repercussions of this have been all over the place as far as e-commerce merchants are concerned. Not only the ruling itself, but just confusion, fear, and uncertainty around it. So I will back up a little bit and just let everybody know. So obviously, as these things happen, certainly talk to your salt accountants and the people that you trust as far as sales tax is concerned. This is in no way meant to be the defining way to do business, but just wanted to kind of let you guys see kind of the lay of the land as it currently stands. Because of the physical presence of Quill is unbound and correct, Quill, it's overturned basically, which allows states to collect sales tax based on economic nexus and not just physical nexus. So this is a very confusing map of the United States, and it's designed to be very confusing, right? So these are all the states in blue that have economic nexus, as you can see up here. But not only economic nexus is affected, as you can see, states can collect taxes based on affiliate, which are in orange, non-collecting sellers, in that little star or asterisk, streamlined sales tax, marketplace sales, even ones that can do it based on cookies as you're clicking through sites. So South Dakota kind of started this, but as you can see, everybody's jumped on board very quickly. This map is actually changing on almost a day-to-day basis. And more states are making decisions that, oh, okay, we have a lot of money that we can collect around it. Here's a small list on our website that we have an online grid, which shows any updates, as well as a really good blog that kind of shows that. So what this kind of means is that as our organization is dealing with this, again, boring and non-revenue driving topic, which is sales tax, there's an understanding that states have a lot of money that they know that they can collect out there, and they're going to start coming after it. Right now, states are losing $13 billion from uncollected sales tax and e-commerce sales, and that's as of 2016. So there certainly is the money out there, and there certainly is a reason for them to start coming after people, and now they actually have the ability to do so. So is there a better way? So this slide talks to what top performing organizations do as far as sales tax automation is concerned. This was actually done by the Aberdeen Group in 2015, so well before the SD Wayfair ruling came out. So 72% of high-performing companies are more likely to leverage real-time updates to tax and regulatory changes, and 3.3 times as likely to have automated workflows for tax preparation, filing, and remittance. So this was well before the SD Wayfair ruling came out. It's even more vital now for merchants. So I'll talk a little bit about who we are at Avalara. And the biggest thing that we talk about is just outsourcing this piece of the business, much like payroll. It's something where you have a couple of choices. You can either hire people to do this and hope that they can do the job, or move other people from critical roles in your organization to try to figure this out. Or you can rely on experts who have done it for a long, long time and do it really well. Annual cost of compliance range anywhere between $67,000 to $400,000. So it's critical to make sure that this piece of your business is buttoned up, and it's important to understand that any investment made in this category is well worth it. When it comes to tax compliance, rates are just the tip of the iceberg. Again, even more than ever with the SD Wayfair. So you have your tax calculations, which is basically when you're checking out of an e-commerce site. But then all these things underneath, product taxability, where specific products have different tax rates, jurisdiction assignment, so where you're located. There might be a Little League tax based on one street, and the other street doesn't have that. So all kinds of stuff that you just need to stay on top of. Exemption certificates for B2B commerce, state and local proper filing, and audit readiness. Tax compliance is important. Again, it's boring, but it's crucial to a business. Any effort spent on sales and use tax compliance and related activities are non-revenue generating. Can't say that enough. It's something where a lot of companies, especially starting out, don't really pay too much attention to it, but it can be a huge issue. So Avalara has different things that access all these, so I'll click through this real fast. I do have a couple of my colleagues that are here, James and Lloyd, who are sitting up top. I'm in the orange, so certainly ask us additional questions about different ways that not only we can help you, but we really want to be a resource as far as helping you understand what the SD Wayfair is, more than just selling you a product. So I'll just fly through this, but we're happy to be assistance in the next couple of days for everybody. This is just our Avalara Sales Tax Suite. It's an end-to-end platform all the way from purchase to filing and remitting your taxes. And again, for time's sake, I'm going to click through this real fast. Accurate, efficient, integrated. Again, you have a choice to make as far as what you want to do. You can bury your head in the sand as a merchant, or you can trust people who've done it for a long time and done it really well. So here's the kind of the takeaway I want to leave everybody with. So SD Wayfair has scared a lot of companies. We've been talking since July. Our phones have rang off the hook with people who are just like, what do we do now? So don't panic. Contact a CPA or somebody that you trust, and make sure that you're lined up with any nexus that is going to be applicable to your business. If you don't have somebody or a trusted advisor that you're using on the tax side, we do have our tax advisory services, which we can certainly introduce you to, who can introduce you to the proper people to help you understand this decision and how it affects businesses. And so that is a very truncated version of a very long presentation. So we've done webinars since this ruling came out that have lasted 2.5 hours. Again, just for time's sake and the fact that lunch is coming up and we want to get everybody back on track. That's a quick version for everybody. I think we probably left a few minutes for question and answers if anybody has any at this time. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So basically, Avalara has a connector to the Magento platform, since we're a Magento show, right? So it's a connector that it bolts right in to there. and then it brings in all your tables and how your business runs. And once that engine starts working, it's automatic within a second of each transaction. Yeah, that's one of the great things about Avalara is that we deal with thousands of different platforms, whether it's ERPs or whatever. So whatever your main thing is, we can connect that and make sure it connects back to the Magento or the e-commerce piece for you. Yep. Good. Oh, it's like that map. It's just moving all the time. So it only makes sense because now that it's revenue that they're not getting, right? So we're actually seeing a lot of states hiring people and kind of ramping up to make sure that they can go after this piece. And yeah, we don't see it as something that's just going to be short term, like just a couple states do it and everybody forgets about it. We think that once some states start making money on this, they're all going to do it. I think that there's some complexity around it that almost scares the states away just a little bit. Like, hey, because a lot of these like not even going to be starting until like 2019. They just want to make sure they do it right. So yeah, we don't see this going away at all. And again, this is just the economic nexus. That bolts on top of any other nexus or tax that you already have to do. It's not something that's separate. This just adds on top. So, good question. Yeah.
Sorry, you said the pricing structure for like Avalara? Yeah. Yeah, I'll refer you to our sales guys up here who will have a much better answer for that. Do you guys mind just connecting right after the thing real quick? Is that okay?
Any other questions? Go ahead. Oh, wait.
Outside of this conference, if someone's interested in purchasing a product, what's the best way to go about it? Download it on Magento or contact you?
Contact us directly, avalara.com, or just you can find us online. So contact us directly, and then we'll work with whoever we need to, whether it's Magento or ERP or whatever, to make sure that you're set up properly. Any other questions? All right. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So that's again another of the big thing, especially with and Magento is moving very broad as well. But yeah, so there's all kinds of different rules, whether it's economic nexus in the United States or the stuff that's overseas. So we deal with over 89 different countries. I'm just speaking for Avalara, but yeah, it's money that's out there for countries, states, whoever. So it's going to be very important as e-commerce grows, as companies make decisions. It's important to know as a company that you're making decisions to expand your business, that you have some resources around sales tax, that this shouldn't be an inhibitor at all as far as you growing your business. It's just like, okay, how do we figure out the best way to manage this? And not only the best way to manage it, right, but make sure that it's a really good experience for your customers. So when they're checking out, they don't have to wait for some weird calculation to happen, or they don't have to pay something themselves offline. Like, it gives them a real-time tax number, and so it's a great user experience for merchants' customers. And you're not going to lose business based on tax, or you're not going to lose money based on audits and things like that. Anything else? I don't know. I can't see up there, but any other questions before we break for lunch? I guess, right? Cool. And then if you guys can answer that one for her, that would be great. But appreciate everybody's time today. Have fun at the conference, and look forward to saying hi to everyone.